Hey guys, welcome back, hope you're all well. So today I want to talk about Xbox. Now, as you all know, a few months ago my good friend Jay, Cybersnake7,
Hey gamers!
top man, he sent me a fantastic gift, which was a boxed crystal Xbox. I really chuffed when I got that, and thank you again Jay, absolutely awesome of you mate. I really do appreciate you doing that for me. And I've said before, Xbox, one of my favourite consoles of all time. It was my choice of console for that generation, and I've got a lot of great memories of that system. Now, obviously, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that previously I had quite a substantial collection of Xbox. I had over 200 games, near enough 220, I think, by the end. And then eventually I got to a point where I had to sell everything off, and I just got rid of it all. But I'm back on track now. The Xbox is a fantastic console, and it's something I want to start buying games for again. The games are so cheap at the moment as well. Xbox hasn't risen in price; it's only gone down, which is fantastic. So it means I can rebuild my collection now. Now, of course, I'm not going to buy every game that I had last time. There are a few games that I played last time which I know I have no interest in playing again, so I won't be picking those up. I'm going to be a little bit more selective, but I'm going to build a substantial size collection, hopefully. So I have picked up a few more games for that collection, so let's take a look at what I got. Okay guys, so here we go. First game up is a game I've never played on the Xbox. One I've always wanted to play, but I used to always buy my games in the wild if possible and try and avoid eBay and online retailers, and therefore I never got to buy this game because it never came up in the wild. Online this can be quite expensive. At the moment you're looking at around about £15, which is a little expensive for an Xbox game, but thank you to my good friend Owen Labosu77.
Alright.
who happened to mention that a certain online retailer had this in stock for $1.99. So I went over there, they had a copy left, and I grabbed it while I could. So I'm really excited to get this, and I can't wait to play it. And this game is Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse. I love the cover. I mean, that is just fantastic. It really tells you everything about it. I mean, it looks like 50s B-movie cheese. So I'm really excited to try this one. I'm not sure, but I think it might be open world. It looks like it might be. But I've heard nothing but good things about this game. It always seems to come up in those hidden gems videos as a really great game for the system. As you can see, it is built on the Halo engine as well, apparently. So I'm excited to give this one a try, and thank you very much to Owen for putting this in his video when he grabbed his copy and mentioning it, because I was really glad to find this one. So next game up is a first-person shooter. It's not the greatest, but it's a decent game and I quite like it, so I thought why not. And it is Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Didn't like the movie, but the game itself is actually quite reasonable. I first played this on the 360. When the 360 was coming out, they had a demo pod in my local game, and that was the thing that really convinced me that I'd actually done the right thing to order a 360, because I was an Xbox fanatic at that point back in 2005. And I played this and Call of Duty 2 and Cameo, I think it was. And this was decent. I mean, Call of Duty 2 was the one that blew me away, but this was actually pretty decent little first-person shooter. And the original Xbox version is a really nice port. Obviously, it was one of those situations like now where they do cross-platform at the beginning of a life cycle of a new console. But yeah, it's not a bad little first-person shooter. Much better than the film, let's put it that way. I will say the film, I just don't like it because the first hour is dragged out for far too long. And you can just cut the first hour of the film out, get to the island, show us the monkey, and we're all good. But anyway, next game I picked up, I've had this before on Xbox, and I've never managed to get anywhere on this game, and I've always wanted to really get into this and try and understand where I'm going wrong, because it looks to be really fun. So I'm going to give it a try this time. I'm determined to actually stick with it, and it is The Thing. Nice cover as well. So I'm assuming it's based on the original movie. I don't know. It might be a completely standalone story for all I know. Oh, it says there, where the movie ended, the true terror begins. So it's sort of an unofficial sequel, I suppose. And yeah, I could never get on with this game. I could never work out how to play it. I was getting stuck right from the beginning. I couldn't get anywhere. Because I remember it was sort of like an adventure game more than it was an action game. And I was having real difficulty getting into it. But I thought, why not? I'll grab it again, give it a try, see how I get on with it. For the price of these games, it's well worth a shot. Next one is a game I picked up in the wild last time, and this used to be quite expensive on Xbox. It's come right down now dramatically so, and I really like this game. It's always a lot of fun. Definitely one of the great games on the system. Bruce Lee Quest of the Dragon. And it's a third-person scrolling beat 'em up really in 3D. It's I don't know why I said third person, because it's a scrolling beat 'em up, so of course it's third person, but it's a beautiful, great game graphically. It plays really well. It's a lot of fun. It's a really decent Bruce Lee title. Don't know if it quite beats the Commodore 64 Bruce Lee, but it is a great game. And as I say, I bought this last time in the wild. I got really chuffed when I found this, because I didn't think I'd ever see it in the wild, and it was well worth it. So yeah, I'm really glad to add this to the collection. Next up, we have a really interesting game from Free Radical, the guys behind Time Splitters, called Second Sight. I've played most of this before. I've never finished it, so I need to do that. But this is one of those psychokinetic games where it's all about, telekinesis. Pretty decent little game, actually. It wasn't a bad title. It was this, and there was Psyops as well. At the time, there was those two games doing the same sort of thing. And yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's got nice graphics. It's Free Radical, and to be quite honest, if you like the Time Splitter graphic style, then you're going to enjoy Second Sight. It's a really nice game to look at, and it's pretty decent to play as well. Not a bad cover, that one. Next one, most people probably going to disagree with me on this, but I kind of like this for the cheese factor. 50 Cent Bulletproof. I had to get it. It's just a really fun game, and it's just, as long as you don't take it seriously, you just take it for what it is. It's 50 Cent running around blowing shit up, killing people with his tunes in the background, and just ridiculous dialogue. The PS3 and Xbox 360 game Blood on the Sand is a much better version of this. Basically, it's an upgraded, it's a different story, but it's essentially the same game with nicer graphics. It's a better game, but I do like this one. It's a lot of fun, Bulletproof. So yeah, I would say don't dismiss this automatically if it's 50 Cent. It's actually quite a fun third-person action game. Next up, we have two games. We have Amped and we have Amped 2. So snowboarding titles exclusive to Xbox. Always thought they were reasonably decent, not the best. But then again, I'm not a big snowboard guy. I think I bought these mainly back in the day because I was such a Tony Hawk's head that I had to just go and give Amped a shot. And yeah, it was alright, it was decent. I mean, right, and the next game I didn't even know existed on Xbox until recently. I just came across it when I was looking for games to buy, checked out some gameplay, and it actually looked pretty decent, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy that. And it is Miami Vice. Yeah, as I say, I had no idea they put this out on the Xbox. Unfortunately, it does have a sun-faded spine, which is a little bit annoying, so I will have to replace it in the future. But yeah, that doesn't really show you a lot either. From what I can see on the gameplay, it's a third-person run and gun action game. You might be cover based, I'm not entirely certain. I think there's some cover elements. It was like a better looking version of the Bad Boys 2 game that got put out, which was pretty awful. But even though it's awful, it kind of had its appeal for me as well. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. But yeah, I thought, why not give it a try? I've never played it. It was going cheap, and it looked pretty decent when I looked at some gameplay, so why not? Again, this last game I've got for you today is another one which I've never played before, and it is based on a film which I haven't seen, but I'm planning on watching it shortly. And I should have seen it by now because it's one of Antoine Fuqua's movies, and he's my favourite director, so I really need to put this in my playlist. Anyway, the game is King Arthur. So yeah, interesting. I looked at some gameplay of this, and it was a third-person action game, and it looked to me a lot like Rise Son of Rome on Xbox One, that kind of style where you're hacking and slashing. And I thought, you know what, that actually looks pretty nice graphically, and I think it could be quite a fun game to play. You know, generally movie games aren't the best in the world, but sometimes they get it right, and I thought, why not? It looks quite good. As I still need to watch the film. It's the only Antoine movie I haven't watched yet, so I need to get off my house and watch that. So there you go, guys. That is the last game, King Arthur. Okay, guys, so there we go. Those are the latest additions to my Xbox collection. Some really nice titles there, and I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in and playing those. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what you think of the Xbox, any memories you've got of it, and especially those games that I've shown you as well. Which ones, do you enjoy? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching as always, and please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.